Hello everyone, my name is Cristel Salazar. I am a code wrangler at Automatic and your presenter today for the state of Openverse in 2023 at the CC Global Summit. We'll quickly go over the origins of the project and the context in which it operates today. Then look at the latest improvements, the work we have been doing, and finally a preview of what is to come. Let's start. First, we have the team of sponsored maintainers that manages Openverse. There are 8 of us across 6 countries who speak over 7 languages, mostly software engineers working full-time to keep the infrastructure running and move the project forward. Automatic is the company behind WordPress.com, WooCommerce, Jetpack, Tumblr, Day1, among other ventures. We are part of the Fight for the Future effort by Automatic, which is an initiative to encourage organizations to contribute 5% of their resources to WordPress development. We'll see in a minute more of how Openverse is related to WordPress and the Creative Commons. So in order to understand what is Openverse, we need to know where it comes from. Some of you may remember this portal. In 2016, the Creative Commons Foundation started building the CC Search as the front door to the Commons, with the goal to find and index all the CC license works on the web, which some estimates indicate that there could be over 2 billion of works. They started with images with plan to incorporate other media types like audio, video, textbooks, and more later. In 2021, the CC Search joins the WordPress.org project to ensure its continuity. Some of the current maintainers, including myself, started working since the CC Search times, so we made sure that the goals remain the same after the join. The WordPress project's goals of democratizing the web and its commitment to open source freedom made it a perfect match. Since then, it was rebranded, and it is what we know today as Openverse. Openverse.org is where you can find the search engine for openly licensed media. We consider it a valuable resource for anyone who creates or uses creative content, such as writers, designers, podcasters, and educators. It is fully translated into 11 languages, with another 12 almost complete and more in process. Next, we had some of the number for the time of submitting this talk. Openverse comprises more than 770 million images and almost 2.5 million audio tracks indexed over 50 sources. It is important to note that all of this is built in the open. Anyone can contribute as the code is free to access and modify in GitHub, with supporting documentation and clearly defined communication channels that I will show later down the line. So after the introduction, we can continue with the main topic of this presentation, the Openverse improvements with audio fully supported and the WordPress core integration, as well as what is in the open, safer content, and new browsing views. This is what we will be addressing the rest of the talk. So as promised in the previous state of Openverse and following the CC Search mission, the audio media type was fully integrated in Q3 of last year. Since then, visitors can search audio files for use in their videos, podcasts, remixes, or other creative projects for free under CC licenses or the public domain. We started including audio tracks from 3 sources: Freesound, Jamendo, and Wikimedia Commons, valuable providers that allow content previews to be displayed from the Openverse UI. The audio inclusion presented several challenges. It required an entire internal restructuring to accommodate the future of the new media type and prepare for those to come, as well as interface redesigns, which involved creating new components, revisiting old ones, and adapting the search view with the mixed results for desktop and mobile, All of this with accessibility principles and good practices in mind. Next, we have the WordPress core integration. WordPress, the CMS software, runs a large portion of the internet. Various estimates show that it powers at least 40% of the top websites in the world. Early this year, as part of expanding the uses of Openverse and facilitating attribution, it was included in the Gutenberg editor in WordPress 6.2. This is a fair approach involving searching for Openverse images directly in the editor. Then inserting the image block with the attribution text, including title, the creator, the license, and list when available, skipping the manual prone to error copying step. The image and text can then be modified with custom styles, and the text can even be removed, depending on the license in use. This gives the user a lot of freedom, although we recommend always giving attribution. Something to note is that Openverse is an aggregator. We don't store the images and audio tracks in depth. Despite this, the WordPress community pushed for a different approach in this integration. And then, the images selected are also added to the media library of the site. This is an example of how the project is shaped for and by the community. Now moving to ongoing efforts, another big goal for the team this year was to improve the safety of the platform. We started a project to filter and blur media that users may find sensitive. Our goal is to make the platform safer for all users, but particularly for children and those in educational settings. As mentioned before, Openverse indexes media from over 50 different sources. Many of these are what we call curated collections, like museums and stock photography sites. Others are what we consider social media platforms, in that they allow for user upload. While these sources have their own content safety policies and moderation systems, the sheer size of this collection means that sometimes work falls through the cracks. In this project, we started with a simple approach to match the text contents of words in Openverse, their titles, descriptions, and tags, for example, against a list of sensitive terms. Early estimates suggest that around 20% of the current media in Openverse contains sensitive text from our text list. This invisible part of the project was recently delivered, so users can browse Openverse safely today. On the front side, we are working to allow users to opt in to see the sensitive results if they want. As the sensitive content is hidden in the result area, it will require a conscious action to make them visible. We will also work with the community to get feedback on our approach and make sure that we are meeting the needs of our users. In this fair implementation, we will be displaying basic information about what sensitive content means and where the marking criteria comes from. It can be Openverse detection, source moderation, machine learning classification, or community reports. In the future day, we will also want to include a categorization system. Another project we have wanted to include for some time and started recently is the new browsing views. Currently, for navigating Openverse, aside from the feature images on the homepage or the related media of an individual result, a search there is required, a word or a short phrase that is used to find what the user desires. But what about when you don't look for something specifically and just want to explore what is there in the commons? What if you are looking for the inspiration to create something else? Some of the Openverse sources are curated collections by museums or official institutions with outstanding released works, ranging from ancient paintings to contemporary art, including archaeological works, landscapes, and anything worthy of preservation, many of which are probably unknown to most of the public and remain inaccessible until someone promotes them. Other sources, like manually stock photography sites, may spark similar interests as well. This is the reason we are building new browsing views, where users will be able to explore the works of a source, a creator within a specific source, or by tag. So it will be easy to explore similar work that you may be interested in. Finally, if someone is looking to connect with Openverse, there are numerous ways to get involved. Discuss. The team holds a synchronous text meeting every Tuesday at 1500 UTC in the Making WordPress Slack at the Openverse channel. You can also stop by and say hello or ask a question at any time. Usually there is always someone online and you will likely receive a response in no more than a day. Development. This year we also recently moved from multiple repositories to one monorepo on GitHub, so you can find all the code stacked in one place. Create openly licensed media. If you are thinking about how to make available images in Openverse, then the WordPress photo directory is probably your best bet for photograph. In the case of audio, currently it will require uploading the draft to one of our mentioned providers. Keep up to date, we have a blog where we publish all the news and important announcements. Keep checking out make.wordpress/openverse. We also have an API and you can create your own application with the media that you want. Translation. If you know a language other than English, then your contribution will be very valuable to reach a wider audience. This is by no means a comprehensive list. We welcome other ways such as accessibility testing, describe books, creating designs, and also invite users to discover our roadmap. What should be the next media type to include? The next source size? What is the next thing that you would like to see in Openverse? And that is all. Thanks for watching.